Sick-N-Tired-Patriot here on December 30th, 2020. Just listening to WSIC radio, the pastor come on there, and very knowledgeable about natural resources, natural God-made resources like, caffeine, nicotine, cigarettes, sugar. Talking about cigarettes, making outlaw on them, tobacco. It ain't so much that the tobacco needs to be outlawed, it's the process. Everything God made is good. It's on this planet for a reason. When you go to start making laws against having God's will, then that's when you're going to start having major crime issues. Even he come on there and said how hard it is to come off of sugar, caffeine, and then started naming all these herbs and this, that, and other. It helps the effects of trying to quit drinking coffee in the mornings, this, that, and other. But like the cigarette, the tobacco, what we need to outlaw is making cigarettes. Still sell you tobacco, but make it harder for you to overdo it. Our problem is whenever you manufacture it into a cigarette, it becomes readily available, and then that's when you abuse it, you overdo it. That's just like the cocaine in the leaf form is it's the perfect remedy for a lot of things. That's why the FDA wanted it to be illegal, right? So what's happened since the marijuana, just because, you can have fun, it seems like they, because I enjoyed doing cocaine. A lot of people, even the lawyers that I used to sell to, the DAs, the judges that I used to sell cocaine to, yes, everybody's done or does cocaine, has done cocaine, has possessed cocaine. But the harder you try to make something illegal and the more effort you put to making it illegal, the more crime you're going to have. The harder the sentence of it, the more disastrous things it's going to get. And that's what's happened today as far as the opium. They have made it so strict to be able to do opium for pain management. Man is trying to mimic it, and it's killing hundreds of thousands of people. And that's the devil's work. Getting police officers killed. To me, if it's a natural substance, it needs to be legal. And that's God's, and that's your will and your choice whether you want to do it. It's between you and God. He even come on there and talked about how cigarettes, tobacco kills more than everything in the world put together, pretty much. They basing that on lung cancer, I bet, or something. And who can prove that it ain't the smog coming out of our cars causing lung cancer, throat cancer, thyroid issues, breathing this CO2 from the cars? That would make a hell of a lot more sense than cigarettes or secondhand smoke. And now they're bringing these biofuels in the picture, and it's like getting worse. There's a lot less people smoking today than there was 20, 30 years ago, but yet there's more people dying from it. That don't make a damn bit of sense. Well, what changed? Well, they went to this biofuel. So now we're pumping all kinds of shit we don't know nothing about in the air, breathing it. Yeah, so much for your science. Just man, think of all of the police officers that's been killed due to the criminality that has been blown up from trying to keep the marijuana, cocaine, opium, and all that stuff illegal. It used to be that it was just a fine to have it. Then it become a misdemeanor, and then a felon. Now if you get 3 felons and you lose all your rights and this, that, and another, you get 3 felonies, yeah, you're going to have to go to prison. Well, man, some people, they're not going to go back to prison. And then they got this in their mind, and, well, I'm going to take one of them out with me. And so there you go. Now you got a dead cop and a dead user, whatever you want to call them. I can't. Why can't we just make all natural resources legal? It's between you and God. If you want to do them, if you want to abuse them, as long as you ain't hurting nobody, I don't see why the cops should even intervene. That's another thing. The worst thing that really messes with anybody on this planet is alcohol. The only time that I ever really got in trouble and they claimed I assaulted a police officer is I got drunk, and that was because I didn't have no cocaine, because you can't get drunk and do cocaine. And that was back in my younger days. And yes, the assault was one of them broke his hand, and the other officer broke his leg, shin. So I don't remember none of it. I woke up the next day, had blood matted, broke ribs, knots on my head, and all that, and they telling me I assaulted the police officer. All I did went to the bar that night. Next thing I know, I was waking up in the day. I don't know if somebody slipped me a Mickey, put something in my drink, what, but I kind of heard the same story come out on the radio. Every week they come out on the radio there and list off big old list of people. Somebody got caught for drugs and they losing all their rights and this, that, and another. But you don't hear anything traumatic come out about it, like any of them are resisted or anything like that. Well, one of them had a firearm and had prior conviction of having drugs in the past. Everybody wants to do drugs. Why not make it legal? I tell you why. The FDA knows that cocaine is a cure-all. I mean, it is literally a cure-all. Yeah, if you overdo it and you do too much, it's going to hurt you. It's just like getting on a motorcycle. You get on a motorcycle, ride with respect, your chances are good. You get on there and you act like a fool, it's going to hurt you. It could kill you. Same thing. Next thing I wanted to talk about, and I'll talk more about that in part 2 to this, Republic. We are supposed to be in a democratic republic. And right now, because under just straight true republic, you're supposed to have no democracy at all. Well, I hear all these people praising the republic. Oh God, we're going to ruin our republic. We got to save the republic. We got to save the republic. Have you know, when we had the colonial war for our first independence, every one of them guys that fought and died, they had independence in mind. They didn't want to. Their thinking was that we was going to be independent, and that's what they fought and died for. A true republic without any democracy at all is an oligarch. You got the richest of the rich that's going to rule. And that's where we're at today because our democracy has been stripped from us. And that's our founders, when they writ this up, and I agree, we do need a republic. But we need our democracy to run that republic. The reason I'm having to do this while I drive, the only time I got time. I think better too, by the way. But we need to rip the power of our voting and place it in the hands of our children. They're the most innocent, least biased, social network that we have. We need to get our schools straightened up, to get our history straight, and teach them what it is to be an American, and as they go into the middle school, start learning how to set up a voting system, and by the time they get in high school, they can literally run the election system, and that would involve, everybody. And I literally think right now is as bad shape as we're in, we need to be having a vote every month. And if legislators want to make law, well, once they make law, the last thing that's got to pass is the people. So the first Monday of every month, or say every 6 months, we have an election on new laws. We need to go back through the laws. There's laws that's just way overreaching that we need to get cleaned up. We need to be focusing on independence, people. Self-reliance. We don't need leaders. We all need to be leading our country. Lead by example and your knowledge that you've learned. That's the only way you can lead. I mean, you got to know what you're doing to be a leader. You can't have youngins coming out of high school and out of college running the country because they hadn't experienced except for what they have dealt with in their life, To me, that's where our election system needs to be, because that's the least bias. We could use our school districts as our voting districts. We, the people, can run it, and therefore, and it would be funded through the state. I mean, to me, it's the quickest way to fix this republic. If we're going to try to maintain this republic, that is the answer in my book. The quickest way, there's a structure there that's already set up. We just need to get in there and start getting our kids taught. Need to get a process for these schools to do this. Learn how to do it. We need to take our schools and our election system back. And all the people is going to have to be really engaged in doing this. And that's, to me, that's how we're going to save a democratic republic. That's the only way it's going to happen. Share. If you like this idea, I mean, kick it around, comment, ask your buddies, doing your own videos, post it here, share your link here on my line. we need to get this process out. I honestly think that would be the answer to all our problems right there. That would keep the richest of the rich from running this country, and that's where we're at. That's why we're at where we are, is we lost our democracy. We're an oligarch. I think that's what they call that, oligarch. All right. Share it. I mean, if you don't share this, if you don't, we got to come up with some answers, people. We got to get something done. I'm getting damn sick and tired of this shit. Damn, it's like I go on my usual shows that I like to watch, which is, I think society is woke. They took all the red pills. We just need to figure out some methods to get this country, quite frankly, in order. Wink, wink. So let's. What's it going to take to fix the country? All right, let's get it done, boys.